Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 1st of November, comes to you from London. And we start by looking really at the dollar, but interestingly, I always glance first thing in the morning just at my screen, and I see here euros down, nearly everything's up. The green is nearly everything's up. The euro dollar is down, sterling down slightly against the Australian dollar, um, and a few of the softs down. Gold is up. And there were a couple of tech stocks down last night. So straight away, I see that markets are looking pretty buoyant, and it's a sea of green. So we start by the dollar index, just holding its breath. Fed decision on interest rates today, so it'll be interesting to see that. And so we're really just pausing, waiting for the Fed. Euro is still below the cloud in the short term, and the medium-term chart prices hanging around below the cloud suggests that we are on the verge of turning into a medium-term downtrend. Not yet clear, but certainly anything below 115 would take us there now, or if we just stay at these levels for a few more weeks, we will be also out of the into bearish territory. Dollar against the yen strengthening, so we're seeing here bullish above all three time frames, just turned bullish again against the short-term chart, and we're seeing upside potential of anywhere between 1.4 and 3.1%. So the dollar is looking bullish against the yen. Against sterling, sterling is actually looking stronger against the dollar. Remember, this chart is inverted, so this is sterling is strengthening, and so we are just seeing here, can sterling get above that sort of key 134 level to be bullish? So that's and hold it, and we need to hold it for a week or two on this long-term chart. We're of course awaiting interest rate decisions in the UK tomorrow, so that's where sterling is just bullishness in anticipation of a rate rise. Taking a look at the euro, sterling is also looking stronger here, and against the Swiss franc also looking stronger. So all round sterling looking stronger. It's just against the Australian dollar. We're just seeing a slight turn at the top here, but it is bullish on the medium and short-term charts, still long-term bearish. The S&P 500 index continuing to run, rising again yesterday. Nasdaq continuing to move higher. The Dow Jones also just sideways a bit, but holding on and going. Still looking amazing on all three time frames, and the Russell 2000 is holding bullish above the chart, but just not quite as trending as strongly short term as the other charts. Looking at the S&P future, that's up 0.3% this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up nearly 0.5%. So that is indicating that markets are set to open higher in the US. And running up to that Fed decision. So interesting to just see that strength in markets. FTSE 100 up slightly this morning. It's still not clearly bullish on the short-term chart, and the FTSE 250 is looking much better. So the strength is really showing through in the FTSE 250, up 0.65% versus 0.13 on the FTSE 100. So we're up some 5 times more this morning on the FTSE 250. The DAX continues to rise, up 1.3% this morning on that weaker euro, and the Nikkei is still looking very strong indeed, running higher. Hang Seng looking good, bullish above the cloud on all three charts, and Shanghai much the same. So we are seeing Shanghai having made that really long-term recovery into long-term bullish, and we're seeing the Sensex also just nudging new highs all the time, so it's looking pretty good too. And the Australian market, having been in the doldrums for months, has really had an amazing October, now just nudging new highs, so that's quite key too. Brent crude moving on well through the $60 level now. We're at 61.55, and we've got a new upside target of 62.56, so it does suggest we are going higher, bucking the seasonal trend, looking pretty good. And WTI, much the same picture, just starting to now make new 2-year highs, which we haven't seen, which already have seen on Brent. It's just taken a bit longer on WTI. So crude oil looking very strong indeed. US nat gas sitting at 2.91%. Copper looking strong, back above the cloud on the short term, so trending higher again. Heating oil also looking strong, and we're seeing some of the softs off a little bit. Coffee only off slightly. Cocoa just down below the cloud on the short term. Cotton also just a little bit in the doldrums. Sugar we're seeing here is looking better, having moved above the cloud short and medium term. Wheat is still depressed. Soybeans is really not going anywhere clearly, and corn also depressed. So we're seeing the grains just selling off there. Gold up very slightly this morning, up 0.65%, which is unusual on a stronger dollar, but we are just seeing that we are bullish above the cloud here. And on silver, we're also looking stronger as well. Taking a look at US Treasury yields, we're just sitting at this 2.4%, really, as we say, waiting the Fed announcement today. And looking at Apple, looking very strong, having just bounced strongly. Google just holding on there, was down slightly yesterday. Amazon was down 0.5%, but having had an amazing jump last week, that's nothing to worry about. And Facebook above 180 for the first time, having closed there. And interestingly, with the investigation that's going on fake news, it's amazing how Facebook is still managing to move higher with great upside targets. And I must declare an interest in Facebook, and I also have an interest in Microsoft, which has also jumped higher. So US tech stocks still looking pretty good overall. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.